Hi and welcome to today's video in which I have perfumes in this little bag and some in front of me that I want to focus on and use up. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I would expect a year, maybe two, but I've got 13 items here. None of them are our large bottles, but the ones that I want to give a try and get used up, especially as the fragrance I am using in my project pan is coming to an end. So the first one I've got to hand here is by a local company, a UK, it's Parfumerie Anglaise, so the English Perfumerie. And this is called Amalfi Coast. So it's a cologne with a little bit of green herbal note. It's got bergamot and citrus in, so it's very, very light. It's unisex, just very refreshing. And I think it's got, what does it say it has? It doesn't really, geranium, linalool. So it's got geranium essence in. But basically, it says it's an eau de parfum, but it's more like a cologne. But I'll try and get that one used up. The next here in my little bag, and it's a rubberized bag, so if there's any spillages it's not going to go everywhere. It's one that I've had long. In fact, I got it in a beauty box not too long ago, and this is by Ormonde Jayne, and it's a new fragrance that came out in 2023, and it's just in this little box. I think it's 9 or 10 mil. Here it is, and it wasn't full. That's all that was in it, so it's definitely been underfilled, but I'm not too bothered. So this one is unisex, leading a bit more masculine, I would say. Ormonde Jayne's fragrances are unisex, but they do tend to run masculine. They tend to have a lot of herbal notes and spice notes rather than florals. So this one is Bukhara, or OJ. I couldn't find it easily online for a review, but some call it OJ Bukhara. I will list all the perfumes I'm using in the description. And it says extract of perfume with peach, blackcurrant, tuberose, jasmine, orange blossom, sandalwood, cedar, vanilla, oud. Now the oud and sandalwood, I'm not keen on oud, and I really don't like sandalwood at all. And I'm not keen on orange blossom, unless it's done very, very well. Like I say, it isn't bad. It's quite masculine, but I'll give that a try, and perhaps Mr. Bear will help me to use some of this. But it's a new amber perfume. It's an amberish fluid. So I shall give that one a go, because I think I've only sprayed it once, maybe. The next one is Miller Harris Rose Silence, or Rose Silence. So basically, out of all of the perfumes, there's two that I have another one of, or more than one, and Rose Silent is one of three. And I got this through Latest in Beauty, and it was on site for quite a while. Now, this one is beautiful. Now, it has quite a bit of fizz to this rose. It's quite a dry rose. It's difficult to explain, but there's a slight fizz element, and people have compared this to Delina by Damali. Now, what I'll say, it isn't, but the rose note is similar to the rose note in the main Delina, and it might be like there's Delina Rosé as well, Delina Rosé, so it might be a bit more like that. But it is a beautiful rose fragrance, and let me just see what it says. It's got blackcurrant, orange, rose, peach, patchouli and musk. I'm not too keen on the patchouli, but this is, I think it's an eau de parfum, but it's acts more like an eau de toilette. So I have used quite a bit of it. There's 10 mil, there's around 7 mil left, but I do adore this perfume, and I do have backups in that size, and that is a UK brand. The next one I've got is a French company. It's an inexpensive pharmacy type brand, and it is Acorelle, and this fragrance is Triare. Now, I got that in a beauty box, and it has tiare flower, orange, jasmine, ylang ylang and vanilla. So I do love tiare flowers, which you do get in Elemis Frangipani Manoi body care. So this is really nice. I won't say it's a very natural tiare. There is a natural element, but I think it gets a bit fruity. So it's more fruity than it is floral, I would say. But it is pleasant if a little young, perhaps a little girlish. But I do like it. And this one is a roll-on balancing. It's for balancing, it says. So yeah, I do like that, but I've just had it a few years. I need to make an end on that, and that is 10 mil. The next one here, I've had again a while, and I got that, I think it was again in a beauty box, and it's Julia Has a Gun. Yeah, Juliette Has a Gun, sorry, and that's the company. And yes, I did get this in a sec, because it's not one I would choose. Lipstick Fever, and that is 10ml. So this one is very much like old-fashioned lipsticks. If you smell old lipsticks with 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, it's got a waxy, plasticky, Play-Doh-y sort of scent. And that is obviously put in on purpose by Juliette Has a Gun, because their perfumes are not straightforward like any other. They can be a little challenging, and they say it's perfume for people who don't like perfume. So Lipstick Fever came out in 2020, and it has raspberry, violet, iris, patchouli, cedar and vanilla, but it's got an overwhelming plasticky or Play-Doh note to me. So it's not that pleasant, but I'll see sometimes on the skin that can wear off. So I shall give that a try. And yeah, I've probably used it a couple of times, but there could have been a bit of evaporation, I suppose. So I shall give that one a try. The next one is, if I can go into the bag, is Narciso, and it's Narciso Ambree. So the only Narciso I really like is the original. And yeah, I'm not too keen on amber fragrances. I don't mind ambergris, which is an extract from a whale. It's whales vomit up ambergris periodically. It's very, very valuable. So real ambergris I quite like, but amber, which is an artificially created, I'm not so keen. But this one is an eau de parfum. It's supposed to have frangipani. I can't particularly find that in this. Ylang ylang, musk, amber, Cashmerian, vanilla and cedar. This is a bit noisy for me. Not my favourite one, a bit too compressed. No, but I'll try and give it a go, and if not, I will pass that on. And I will make notes of what I do with these, but this is where this one is up to. Then I have by Clarins, and I got this in a beauty box. I've very recent, well, in the last 6 months anyway, or so. I've got Le Jardins by Clarins. Now this came out, let me just see when this one, does it say? No, 2010. So I remember this coming out actually. So this, they don't say that it's an eau de parfum or eau de cologne or anything like that. But basically, they were the first company that I'm aware of that talked about using fragrances to treat ailments or to lift mood, or stabilise mood, etc. So like an aromatherapy sort of therapeutic way. So basically, this one is citrus, orange, grapefruit, cassis, bergamot, lemon, mint, rose, bay leaf, cedar, musk, vetiver and patchouli. So this is quite a light fragrance. It is unisex. Yeah, so perhaps slightly feminine leaning, but Clarins perfumes are unisex in their very nature, and it's like a prescription that they advise people, do you want something uplifting? My favourite, which I don't actually have, is Diamante, but that one actually has patchouli, but it's one that I do actually like. The only thing is they don't last very long on the skin, but this one is quite an uplifting note. So it's 35ml, and I hoped to work the way through that because it has a dabber, which means that it's open to the air, so it needs to get used up fairly quickly. Then I have by Mitchell and Peach, which is a UK brand. And this was the first fragrance they brought out, but they have more now. And it's Flora No. 1 Fine Edition. And it's in a very cute dabber style glass bottle. There it is. And this one is very, very fresh. And it says here that it is an eau de parfum. I'm not sure it's that strong as an eau de parfum. I would have put it eau de toilette. But it's got peony, fennel. Now, fennel is an unusual note. It's a bit of a licoricey or aniseedy vibe. Rose, lavender, then it says floral, then ylang ylang. So ylang ylang was quite popular in the 80s and early 90s. But this is a lovely, well combined fragrance. But I've had it a few years, and like I say, it is a dabber. So I'll try and get use of that. I'm looking forward to trying that actually. The next one is by Philosophy, and it's Amazing Grace Magnolia, and I do actually have another one of those, and I've got these in beauty gift sets. And Philosophy aren't my favourite fragrance house, but I think they're quite generic, but they're not offensive by any ways. They are you're generally going to be happy, I think, with Philosophy's fragrances. And obviously they're well known for their body care as well. So Amazing Grace Magnolia came out in 2019. It's got bergamot, nectarine, magnolia, violet, musk, driftwood and amber. So this is a spray cap, so it makes it easier to use, because most of these, well, a few of these do, and then others are dabber. But I shall look forward to using this one. But I do have another. And then I've got... I've got it on a pad. I'm just going to turn over, and I got the notes from Fragrantica. Then I've got Bvlgari, two from Bvlgari, which I got in Harrods Advent Calendar for 2023, and it's the Allegra series. So I've got Baciami, which is, I'm going to see if I can get Baciami. Which one? Baciami. So it's Spanish, Italian. And Baciami means kiss me, and it came out in 2022. It's gardenia, vanilla and amber. Now I do like gardenia, quite like vanilla. It's the amber I'm not so keen on. Quite artificial in scent, this. It might lighten up a bit on the skin, but this is full. And it comes in, when you get a full size, it comes in a bonbon jar, quite a big bonbon like that, and they just come in different colours, different colourways. So that is always a different colour. The ends might be blue, that's purple, or red and blue. They have different two colourways where the ends are different than the centre, and that delineates the different, or distinguishes the different fragrances. So I shall give that one a try. That's an eau de parfum. And then the other one is called Spettacolore, which means spectacular. And obviously it's the same Allegra fragrance, but obviously there are different versions. And this one is iris, myrrh and amber. So they don't have many notes in. I do like the idea of myrrh. Well, she'll see how this one... I don't normally go for Bvlgari's fragrances. I find them a bit overpowering. But they may be a bit more lively on the skin. But that one is full as well. I've probably just tried them once at the time I got the advent calendar. So, yeah, another set I want to use up. And then the final two are another set that I got in the Harrods advent calendar for fragrance. And it's Maison Francis Kurkdjian, Paris. So obviously he's known for Baccarat Rouge primarily, as well as other fragrances, but that really became very popular. I think with this fragrance house, they are quite unisex and quite fresh-ish. So I've got two versions of the same fragrance. So, I don't know, I've got Gentle Fluidity and Gentle Fluidity Gold. And I think that around 10 or 11 mil, I think. Does it say on here? 11 mil. And I find this fragrance house to be inoffensive, I will say. Not my favourite. I wouldn't buy the full size. Now, which one is that? Is that the silver? Yep. So the silver, it's called Gentle Fluidity Silver. It came out in 2019. It's aromatic, spicy, with juniper berry, musk, coriander. It's woodsy notes, nutmeg, amber and vanilla, according to Fragrantica. So this one is I would say out of the two is more masculine leaning. The silver one, like a cologne. I don't find this fragrance house, even eau de parfum, to be very strong and long lasting. I know others say they are. I don't find them to be so, and I don't find them to be groundbreaking by any means. They're just okay, this house, to me. But I shall give that one a try. And I've got the Fluidity Gold. And this one, again, 2019, it's got vanilla, amber, musk, woodsy notes, juniper berries, nutmeg, coriander. So very similar, except the vanilla is higher in this one. So let me just see if I can put it onto here. Yeah, yeah. It is spicy though, and this is the thing with Francis Kurkdjian. It's a house that has a lot of spice in their notes, which aren't my favourite sorts of things, to be honest. I like some spiciness, but it's more of a Middle Eastern sort of spice notes I find, which aren't my favourite, like cardamom, and a nutmeg is more Western, but the coriander, not really something I want to smell like. But I shall certainly give it a try. And so these are all 13 fragrances. Now, those that have got sprayers of their own, that's great. But obviously some are in, let me just see how many are in. I think there's at least 2, I think, that have to be decanted, if I'm right. I'm sorry, I'm looking down to see. Yeah, these 2 need to be decanted out. So what I've got, and this is a very old one, I've got many atomizers. This one's quite big. I think it's around 10 mil. And you unscrew the tab. I've got funnels to put on, so you can put it in through a funnel. I've given this a wash, a rinse out at least, and spray. So what you do is you can try and clean it with a small brush, but if you rinse out and then use water, fill it with water and keep spraying it, because the scent of the previous perfume will be lodged in the tubing, unless what you should do is after you've used it for travel, is that you clean it straight away so it doesn't linger too long. But this one has got quite a heavy floral scent in, but it will work its way through. But this, yeah, it's quite easy to use. I've got plenty of others, but this was the closest to hand, and it's quite big. It holds around 10 mil. Or at least 7 mil. So they're all the fragrances that I'm hoping to work on. Like I say, they're not going to get used up this year, because I will be using other fragrances. Now these will probably be used of an evening and night, because in the day I will probably be using other large bottles from my fragrance collection, including focus on those that have been bought this year. So, but I am mindful that Harrods will have another advent calendar out, I presume, because it's very successful, and they generally launch in November. What I will say, if you're interested in that, is you need to go onto their website, sign up, because then you'll get email notifications, which I get, and one of them will be to allow you to purchase the fragrances, and I think you get a prior notification if you're a member. So again, they do sell out fairly quick, the Harrods calendars, but I didn't get the first one because there wasn't enough that I liked. But what I will say is there's a lot of crossovers, that the fragrances that were in the first calendar, many were in the second calendar. So I'm not sure if there's going to be yet more repeats again, because I suppose there's only so many fragrances that Harrods have at any one time and to choose from. So let's see. But I want to get a few out of my collection this year, and I'm going in the next couple of years. So I'm going to work through these, because these should be easier to finish than the large bottles. Can I say thank you very much for watching, as I do appreciate your time is valuable. Hopefully I shall see you soon. Otherwise, please take care of yourselves, and bye for now.